Hello chess players. Many a times we can solve hard puzzles, even extremely hard sometimes. But whenever similar position occurs in our game, we might not be able to realize the solution. Therefore, it's not about puzzle only, but also to have understanding of move sequence that brought us to the winning position. Here is the today's position. We are going to do the same. We will begin with important positional observations of the puzzle in terms of pros and cons. This is the endgame position. Our king is quite safe. We have played castling on queen side. Queen is active on long diagonal and also threatening mate in 1 on g7 square if queen moves somewhere else. Rook on the back rank on the 8th rank, also pinning the black rooks. And bishop is in the active area. Bishop is playing a very crucial role in this game, defending our pawn on h6. Our pawn on h6 looks very scary and powerful, helping us to create checkmate plan. Now, let us see the another side of the board. Pawn structure above the king is completely destroyed despite of black played king side castling. Hence, the king is vulnerable. Black has center pass pawn, but have no time to promote this pawn into queen. Queen and rook have space, they can move everywhere, but still they are tied well. They cannot move easily, they have more responsibility, like the rook is defending the king, queen is defending this checkmate. Knight is absent on the best square f6 and hence it is allowing us to have our queen on this long diagonal. Now, pause the video and try to find the sequence of moves that will lead to winning position in this game. You can also write your moves in the comment box. Alright, if you found Queen h8, brilliant. This is completely unbelievable move. King capture queen. After that, rook capture rook. Now, here black has two options, either knight g8 or queen g8. First of all, let's see knight g8, bishop e5, check. Again, black has only one move, blocking with queen. And this time, it's pawn capture queen mate. It's a pawn checkmate. Now, after rook capture f8 check, let's say if queen comes in between, then it's mate in 1 with a bishop e5 check and the game is over. Now you see, it's very easy to solve any position if we observe the board properly using the technique of positional observation. We have solved this tricky position and we might be able to recreate similar position during our game. Now, let us understand the steps that brought us to this endgame position. Therefore, let's begin from the starting. Pawn e4, pawn c6, black employed Caro Kann defense, pawn d4, controlling centers and having to space for both the bishops, pawn d5, stopping us to advance our pawn, and black is also controlling center square. Pawn f3. Here we arrived at Caro Kann defense fantasy variation. Pawn e6, opening the bishop. Knight c3, developing our minor piece and controlling center squares. Bishop b4, developing their minor piece and creating a pin. Bishop f4, developing one more minor piece and controlling center square e5. Knight e7, black is preparing kingside castling. Queen d3, activating our queen and preparing for queenside castling. Pawn b6, knight e2, bishop a6, black is developing minor piece and attacking our queen. Queen e3, saving our queen. Black is playing castling to increase the king's safety. We are playing castling on the opposite side, queen side, to increase our king's safety. So whenever there is opposite side castling, the game result would be definitely there because both the players have fair chance to destroy the pawn structure using flank pawn attack. This is how black could do and this is how white we could attack the king. So as the game begins, pawn c5, black is striking on the center, pawn a3, kicking bishop out from our area, bishop capture knight, and queen capture knight bishop. Here there is interesting note because we want to get our knight on g3 h5. That's why we are not capturing with knight and capturing with queen. Bishop capture knight, stopping us to develop our knight on the king side area. Bishop capture e2, also developing our bishop. Pawn c4. Now, this pawn came in our territory and also attacking on two squares b3 and d3. We have to be careful there. Pawn h4. So now we are counter attacking on the black. Here our plan is h4, h5, h6 so that we can damage the black's castling structure. Pawn b5. Black is also doing the same thing. Queen e1, diverting our queen on the king side. Knight c6. Black is developing their minor piece and attacking on the center. Pawn h5, preparing for h6 break. Queen d7. Black is activating their queen, preparing for rook battery and rook f to d8 plan. Queen is also eyeing on a4 square. Pawn g4. Again preparing for pawn break via g5 g6. Pawn f6, stopping us to play pawn g5. Bishop f1. This is really interesting move. Black is having one weakness on e6 square. So we can use our light square bishop to f1 and then h3 so that in a couple of moves we can target pawn e6. Rook a to d8. Bishop h3. Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. Now we have set our pawn not on the center but also preparing on f5. Knight capture knight. With this, opponent knight got pinned. Pawn g5. Pawn f5. King b1. This move is very important to avoid any kind of knight check in future like this. Queen c6, improving their queen on long diagonal. Pawn h6, fixing our pawn on h6 square to create weakness on g7. Pawn takes e4. Queen c3, setting our queen on long diagonal, and we are also virtually pinning this knight. If knight moves somewhere, then we can give checkmate in one move. Let's say if black is trying fork, then queen capture g7 is met. So that's why knight is pinned here. Now black is continuing a game. Pawn e3, discard attack on our rook and threatening pawn e2 push. Rook capture knight, a great move, a novelty, because this is a knight which is stopping us to create our checkmate plan. Queen capture rook, check, it's a fork, defending our king a2. Queen capture bishop, rook capture rook. So with this, we are threatening mate in 1 on g7, also pinning the opponent rook on f8. Pawn takes pawn, defending a checkmate. Pawn takes back, again threatening checkmate. Queen g4, defending checkmate on g7. And here we arrived at our puzzle position. As you know the solution, queen h8, a brilliant move. Queen sacrifice to capture our king, queen. Rook capture, rook check. Knight is defending a check. Bishop e5 check. Again, black is forced to defend with queen and pawn capture queen checkmate. Remember that our aim is not to keep all the moves in our mind, but understanding of piece placement and coordination are important. I have shared PGN file in the description box. Now, let me show you the position for our next video. So, here is the position on your screen. Try to think, what should black play next? I hope you have learned something new today. Check out my other videos and comment your feedback. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.